You have met them, you have worked with them, and if you haven't, maybe you are one of them. I'm talking about lazy employees, the ones who always seem to have an excuse for underperforming, who master the art of looking busy while doing, well, almost nothing. I'm Thomas Erikson, and in this video we will dive into my book Surrounded by Lazy Employees. Why some people really are lazy, why some only look lazy, and what you can actually do about it. I am a leadership expert, that's my main game, so listen carefully. First things first, it is very popular to blame everything that happens or doesn't happen in the workplace on the manager. I know, the boss. And sure, some of them are not that good, him or her. However, there are in fact also a lot of staff members who aren't super fantastic either. I know, not as popular as condemning the horrible boss, I get that. But let's have a look at something I would like to call reality. Now, Surrounded by Lazy Employees is the second half of my book Surrounded by Bad Bosses. Now, this is not a book about pointing fingers. No, it's about understanding why some people don't perform and how much of that is actually about leadership, what is about motivation, and above all, communication. So stick around because I will walk you through the patterns I've seen over and over and over again in workplaces all over the world. Let's be clear, not all employees who seem lazy are in fact lazy. Actually not. But a lot of people just don't seem to get the job done. Why is that? Well, sometimes they are unmotivated. Sometimes no one has instructed them okay. Sometimes they are in the wrong role, they have the wrong position. Sometimes their manager has set the bar so low they simply stopped caring, or set the bar too high, with of course the same result. But yes, some people really just hate their job. You know who they are when you see them. There are different flavors of lazy, okay? Can the colors, the four colors, help us to understand what the problem is? Well, maybe. Let's have a look at the four colors from my first book, Surrounded by Idiots. First we have the red employee. Too impatient to do the boring stuff. They want results fast. If it's not exciting and rather challenging actually, they will cut corners, they will try to delegate downwards or just leave it undone. From the outside this might look like laziness. From the inside it feels more like this is beneath me. I have better things to do. I have people to meet, places to go. More important ones for sure. What about the yellow employee? Full of energy when the task is new and fun. But when the enthusiasm fades, so does work ethic. The boring, everyday routine part sets in. Yellows are great at starting but terrible at finishing. If you ever had a colleague who jumps on every new project but leaves a trail of half-done tasks behind them, you have met a lazy yellow. Again, it's not really laziness, but it sure looks like it. What about the green employee? They will sometimes nod, smile, agree, then quietly do as little as possible. Why? Well, they didn't really like the assignment. Not that they said anything to you. They usually said yes, but they meant no. Because rocking the boat feels worse than not delivering. They would rather be invisible than be wrong. They will avoid confrontation because they hate conflict. And then we have the blue employee, the tricky one. These people, well, they don't look lazy because they're busy. Keep themselves busy all the time. With what, you might ask yourself? Well, with their details. But sometimes they use analysis as an excuse not to act. Constantly preparing, endlessly checking, perfecting, researching. A task that should have taken 30 minutes could just as well consume their whole day. From the outside it looks like paralysis, which, let's face it, produces the same result as sheer laziness. Nothing gets done. So why does this matter? Well, maybe it's a silly question. Why is this a problem? An employee who doesn't get the job done doesn't just annoy the manager. They frustrate the whole team, really. Everyone else has to pick up the slack. Resentment grows, productivity drops. You see, sometimes a so-called lazy employee is actually the symptom of a bad boss. When expectations aren't clear enough, if feedback never comes, if good work isn't rewarded, why even bother trying? So, what could be done here? Well, first you should figure out which kind of lazy you're dealing with. Is it really laziness, or is it just boredom? Could be boredom. All jobs are not inspiring. It could also be fear, lack of clarity. With reds, you have to challenge them. With yellows, help them stay focused and make sure they finish. Follow-ups, series of them, many follow-ups. With greens, encourage them. push gently, firmly. With blues, set deadlines so their perfectionism doesn't become procrastination. These are just a few simple tips to help any manager keep things going. But if it is real, honest to goodness laziness, then it's actually very simple. Deal with it immediately. Don't dance around it. Don't cover for them. No, no, no. Call it out, because tolerating laziness is contagious. It spreads worse than gossip. So that is Surrounded by Lazy Employees, the second part of Surrounded by Bad Bosses. It's not just about slackers, it's about understanding the patterns behind underperformance. Sometimes it is about personality or leadership. Sometimes it is about laziness, sure. But the book is most of all how to avoid it and make more people into top performers. Not everyone can be a top performer, I get that. But more people could with the right leadership. If you ever had a colleague who fit one of these descriptions, please leave a comment. I promise you are not alone. And make sure to subscribe for more videos on the Surrounded by series. And my friend, remember the following. You cannot change somebody else, but you can change yourself.